Hello, fourth graders. It's Mrs. Pierce. I'm going to do lesson 13.4 with you. It's on page 737. It's finding unknown measures. This is a bit of a challenging lesson. It's using area and perimeter, but it has some missing pieces to it. So in order to find the area and the perimeter of some of these questions, you have to find the missing pieces before you can find the actual answer. So they get a little tricky here and there, so I will do the problems with you so you can get some ideas of how this works. So it says, Tanisha is painting a mural that is in the shape of a rectangle. So there's your first clue. The mural covers an area of 54 square feet. The base of the mural measures 9 feet. What is the height? So this one, with the problems like these before, we were trying to find the area and we had the dimensions. Now we have a dimension, the area, and a missing dimension we have to figure out. So it says, what do we need to find? We need to find the height. So I'm going to say find the height of the mural. What information do we know? We know the area and we know the base. All right, let's figure this out. It says label the measures you know. So I know the area. I know the space inside is 54 square feet. And I know the base is 9. They fill that in for me. But I don't know what this height is right here. I got to figure that out. So it says use the model to write the equation and solve. So far I know the formula. It says write the formula for area. I know that's area equals base times the height. I know the area already. It's 54. The base is 9 times the height, which is, I don't know what that is yet. So I have to think what times 9 equals 54. If you go on your multiplication chart and you look at the 9s, you will find that 6 times 9 is 54. So the value of n, I don't know why they use n considering they have h over here, so just cross it out. H. Keep it all the same here. The value of h is 6. The height is 6. So the height of the mural is 6 feet. Okay, so if we were to plug that 6 back into here, we could do 9 times 6 to get the area, which is 54. So that works. That's a way to check your answer. So always plug your answer back in, see if it works. What if the mural were in the shape of a square with an area of 81 square feet? What is the height of the mural? What would the height of the mural be? So this would be really cool because if this was a square, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to draw it. It said it's 81 is the area. So I know that to find the area of a square, it's still area equals the base times the height. But the thing with a square is the base and the height are the same length. So it would be like area equals the base times the base. Well, I have to think, what number times itself gives me 81? 1 times 1? Nope, doesn't work. 2 times 2? No. 3 times 3? No. 4 times 4? Nope. Work all the way up. If finally you get to a point where you realize 9 times 9 equals 81. So that means the length of the side is going to be 9. And the other sides are also going to be 9 because it's a square. So that's kind of a way to think through that. So it's because it's a square, you have to find something times itself in order to get the area. Explain how you can find an unknown side of the length of any square when given only the area of the square. That's exactly what we just did. So yeah, you can do that by working backwards a little bit. I know, like I said, the area of a square is a base times the same number. So that's why I switched the formula from base times height to base times base, because it's going to be the same number. So that would be how you find out with that missing square. All right, turn the page. Page 738. Example 2. Gary is building an outdoor pen in the shape of a rectangle for his dog. He will use 24 meters of fencing. The pen will be 3 meters wide. How long will the pen be? So this is find an unknown measure given the perimeter. So you can do this. You can find missing sides if you're given the perimeter too. You just have to make sure you use the right formula. Use area and perimeter correctly. So it looks like they drew a picture down here. It says use the formula for perimeter. I know that the perimeter is 24 meters because it says he's going to use 24 meters of fencing, which tells me like all the fence together is going to be 24 meters long. So the perimeter is 24 meters. It's 3 meters wide, so the width is 3 meters, and you got to figure out the length. I don't know what that is. So I'm going to go use the area of perimeter for a rectangle. I'm going to plug in what I know. Okay? I don't know all the pieces, but I'm going to put in there what I do know. So the perimeter model formula for a rectangle is perimeter equals 2 times the length, so 2 lengths, plus 2 times the width, 2 widths. So I know the perimeter. The perimeter is 24 meters. 2 times the length. I don't know what the length is, but I'm going to go ahead and put the 2 in there. 2 times question mark, because that's what I'm still trying to figure out. I think I'm going to put in, they use N to stand for the unknown. It's fine. And then 2 times W, which is be 2 times the width. We do know that one, so I can go ahead and put that one in. And then I'm going to simplify what I do know. So I've got 24. I'm going to leave it over there by itself. I still don't know what 2 times N is. I don't know what that length is. So, you know what? Just to make our lives a little easier, I'm just going to keep these as L's. Okay? Every time I see this, I'm going to switch it to an L because I feel like they should have done that to begin with. But so help us keep track of what we're doing here. I don't know what 2 times L is, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that down here. But I do know what 2 times 3 is. That one's pretty easy. I can do 6 over there. So then I got to think. Okay. So 2 times L is an unknown addend. I can kind of piece away at this a little bit. I know that this whole quantity plus 6 is 24. So I'm actually going to take what number plus 6 is 24. Because whenever I solve this, it's got to equal some number that plus 6 gives me 24. So what number times 6 equals 20, or plus 6 equals 24? That would be 18. Remember, if you're not sure, use the opposite operation. That one's got addition right there, so the opposite operation would be 24 minus 6, and that gives you 18. So whatever 2 times L is, it has to equal 18, because 18 has to go here so that we can add 6 to get 24. So what number times 2, because I got the 2, so what number times 2, this is your what number, times 2 is 18, and that is 9. So the value of the length is 9. So that would be, if we put 9 back in here, up here, and we found the perimeter. So we've got 9 plus 9 is the length up here, so that's 18. Plus 3 is 21, plus 3 again is 24. So that's 24. So that's a way to check our answer, work backwards. So the pen will be 9 meters long. So this one's a little challenging because you have to kind of think through different pieces at one time. But as long as you understand that with the perimeter, you have to use all the outside edges and you plug in what you've got, use the numbers you have to kind of figure out what the numbers are left. All right, the perimeter of a square, squares, is 24 feet. Find the side length. So draw a model. So I'm going to draw me a square. I know my perimeter is 24 feet. So the outside edge altogether is 24. My perimeter equation or formula for a square is perimeter is 4 times the length of a side, because I know with a square, all the sides are the same length. So that is what lets me use it. So I gotta think, what number, if I know the perimeter is 24, what number times 4 is 24? Ooh, that is 6, which means the side length equals 6 feet. So to find the side length, 6 feet. So this would be 6, 6, 6, and 6. And you add all those back together, then you get 24 as your perimeter. So that's how you check it. All right, sliding on over to 739 here. So let's find the unknown measure. The area of the rectangle is 36 square feet. So I'm going to plug in what I know, what's on my picture and the description they gave me. So I know the area is 36, so I'm going to put that in there. Because it's still the same formula. It's area equals base times the height. So 36 equals base times the height, which is 3. So now I have to think, what number times 3 gives me 36? If you're not sure off the top of your head, use your opposite operation to figure out this missing side. So the opposite operation of multiplication is division. So I can use 36 divided by 3. 3 goes into 3 one time. Chapter 6, 3 goes into 6 2 times. So 12. 12 times 3 is 36. So the base of the rectangle is 12 feet. Sorry, I squeezed it all in there. 12 feet. And if you go back to here, you put the 12 here. If you're using area, you're going to multiply the two sides together. 12 times 3. 12 times 3 is 36. So that's correct. All right. So this one uses perimeter. So that's what this one gives you the perimeter. This one gives you the area, and this one goes back to the area again. So it's the same method for all of them, except for you have to pay attention to what information they gave you. If they gave you the area, make sure you use the base times the height formula. If they give you perimeter, you're going to have to use the 2 times L plus 2 times W. So just be careful that you're paying attention to that. I think that's going to be the biggest mistake that you might make on this, is if you're not paying close attention to that information. So the perimeter formula is P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W. I don't know what the width is. I don't know what this part is right here. But I do know the length and I know the perimeter. So I'm going to pop those into my equation. So I'm going to do 44 into the P spot equals, I know my length is 12. Again, you could have put the length for the width. It still would have worked out the same way. It's fine. But this is technically the right way to do it. Plus 2 times, I'm going to leave the W in there because I don't know what that answer is. I'm trying to find the width. That's what's asking me to figure out. So I can solve some of this. 12 times 12 is 24. Plus 2 times W. Still don't know what that is. I run out of space. I'm going to scoot over here a little bit. So it's something plus 24 is 44. So I'm going to do 44 minus 24 to figure out what that is. So I can take off the 24 from both sides. So that's 20. 20 equals 2 times W. And again, I got that from, I know that 2 times W plus 24 is 44. So I subtracted 24 from 44 to figure out how much that would be. It'd be something equals 2 times W. So what times 2 is 20? That would be 10. So our width equals 10. And if you're not sure about all of that once you get into it, go ahead and figure out if you can get back to the perimeter or not. So this is, the width is 10. So 10 plus 10 is 20. Plus 12 is 32. Plus 12 again is 44. So that gives me back to my original number. So I know I did it correctly. All right, area. So I need to use base times the height. So this would be 100 equals 9 times something. What times 9 is 108? If you're not sure, use division to get the opposite. 9 goes into 1, can't go into 1, so let's do 10. Goes into 10 one time. 9 goes into 18 two times. That's 0. So 12. So my height is 12. And again, work backwards. Inches, sorry. If I do 12 times 9, I will get 108. So that's a way to check it. And then finally, area. So I'm going to use the area formula. So area equals the base, which I don't know, times the height, which is 5. So what number times 5 is 90? Again, use your division because that's the opposite. The opposite will help you fill in that missing spot. 5 goes into 90 one time. 4. 5 goes into 40 8 times. So 18. 18 meters is my answer. So I want you to pause the video so you can do 5, 6, and 7 on your own, and then I'll do number 8 with you. So I want you to pause right here. And then I want you to solve. Okay. So we've got a perimeter one, so I got to use the 2 times L plus 2 times W. I know 5 is one of them. 5 is the width because I'm looking for the length. Oops, sorry. I'm looking for the length. So this is, they gave me the width. They gave me the opposite one. So it's 2 times L plus 2 times 5. That's 10 plus 2 times L. The total was 34. 34 minus 10 is 24. So what number times 2 is 24? That's 12. So L equals 12 yards. And then area, I gotta do base times the height. So area is 96 equals base, which I don't know, times my height. Again, I don't know what that is off the top of my head. I don't know what number times 8 is 96. So I'm gonna divide in the little space that I've got. So that would be 12. So my answer is 12 feet. And then area, same thing. 126 times, I have my base, that's the 9. I don't know what my height is. So I gotta figure that out. Use the opposite operation, and that's division. Nine goes into 36 4 times. So my answer is 14. Again, you can always plug your answer back into your formula, and that will say if you do 9 times 14, you get 126, then you know you did it correctly. So that would be centimeters. Sorry, that doesn't. There we go. Sorry that's a little messy today, guys. I just didn't give us very much space to do all of our work. You can always use an extra piece of paper. That's probably what I should have done. A square has an area of 49 square inches. Explain how to find the perimeter of the square. So I know that, let's see here. I got to have a square that's all the same sides. It's 49. If you add up all the sides, because it says perimeter, it's going to be 49. Well, I know that for the perimeter of a square, it's 4 times the length of the side, because it's 4 all the same size. So I don't know what the length of the side is, so that's what's asking me. What's asking you to find the... Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. Hang on. I didn't read the problem all the way through. See, that's why you're always supposed to read the problem all the way through. Square has an area of 49 square inches. Okay. I was getting a little ahead of myself. So the whole area is 49 square inches. So I know that the area of a square is, its area equals the base times the base. Base times height still, but the base and the height are the same. So I'm using the same letter. So that means that what number times itself is 49. So you start at 1 and work your way up. 1 times 1 is 2. No, that doesn't work. 2 times 2 is 4. That doesn't work. 3 times 3 is 9. That doesn't work. 4 times 4 is 16. All the way up to 7. 7 times 7 does give you 49, which means that one side of the square is 7. So if I was to find the perimeter of the square, this would be 7, 7, 7, 7. Add them all the way up. That would be 28. So perimeter equals 28 inches. So, sorry my handwriting has been so messy. I have to like hold the camera with one hand and write on the book, and with the getting towards the end of the book's getting a little floppy. So sorry about that, guys. But still get the answers. You still get how to do it. That's what's important. So this one, oh, I almost showed you. So here, I'll let you look at my floor. Hello, floor. So I'll show you the answers for the next page here in a second, but I didn't want to make your video too long. So I was just going to show you the answers. If you want to work them out as a challenge, go for it, and then you can check your answers. Right. Pause the video if you want to work it out, and then unpause. And here's your answers for these ones. I'll just quickly go through these real quick. The area of the swimming pool is 120 square meters, so 120 all the way around inside. The width of the pool is 8. What's the length of the pool? So I have to figure out what number times 8 is 120. So using some division, I could figure that out, and the answer is 15 meters. It's the length of the other side. This one was a little funky, but it worked out. An outdoor deck is 7 feet wide. The perimeter of the deck is 64 feet. So they gave you the perimeter formula over here. Perimeter equals 64 feet. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, which they give you, 7 feet wide. And then you figure out the missing one from there. So 2 times 7 is 14. So something plus 14 is 64. So if I take off the 14 from both sides, I'm going to have to figure out this something has to equal 50. So what number times 2 is 50? That would be 25. So the length of the deck is 25. And then this one about the mountain lions. A male mountain lion has a rectangular territory with an area of 96 square miles. If his territory is 8 miles wide, what is the length of the territory? And do the same thing. Area equals the base times the height. I only knew the 8. I didn't know what the base was. So I used some division to figure out what the opposite number would be. That would be 12. So the answer is 12 miles. Alright guys, if you have any questions about this, give me a comment or send me an email, and I will help you out with it. I'll see you in the next video. See ya!